The journey to discovering your guiding Odu begins with understanding the profound foundation of the Ifa system itself. According to the extensive research of Pierre Verger and Juana Elbein dos Santos, the 256 Odu represent the complete library of human experience, containing every possible life pattern, challenge, and spiritual lesson that a soul might encounter during earthly existence. Each Odu is far more than a simple fortune or prediction. It is a complete spiritual blueprint that reveals the archetypal forces governing your life, the lessons your soul chose to learn, and the specific path that leads to your highest fulfillment. Juana Elbein dos Santos emphasizes that the Odu system represents one of humanity's most sophisticated approaches to understanding destiny and divine communication. The word Odu itself means container or vessel in Yoruba, suggesting that each pattern contains vast wisdom waiting to be unpacked and applied to daily life. These sacred containers hold the accumulated knowledge of countless generations, refined through centuries of observation and spiritual practice. Understanding your governing Odu is not about fatalistic acceptance of predetermined events, but rather about recognizing the spiritual curriculum your soul has chosen for this lifetime. Reginaldo Prandi's research reveals that the Yoruba understanding of destiny is dynamic and interactive. While the general framework is established, how you navigate within that framework determines your success and spiritual evolution. The process of discovering your Odu requires both spiritual preparation and practical knowledge. It involves learning to recognize the signs and patterns that life presents, developing sensitivity to spiritual communication, and understanding the symbolic language through which divine wisdom is transmitted. Before beginning this sacred journey, it's essential to approach the process with proper reverence and understanding. The Odu are not merely intellectual concepts, but living spiritual forces require respectful engagement. They respond to sincere seeking, honest self-reflection, and genuine commitment to spiritual growth. This foundational understanding prepares you for the deeper exploration that follows, where ancient wisdom meets personal revelation in the discovery of your unique spiritual blueprint. Chapter 2. The Sacred Mathematics of Destiny. The Ifa system operates on a sophisticated mathematical foundation that Pierre Verger described as binary wisdom, a system of spiritual calculation that predates modern computer science by thousands of years. Understanding this sacred mathematics is crucial for discovering your governing Odu and interpreting its guidance accurately. The foundation begins with the concept of duality present in all existence: light and dark, male and female, expansion and contraction, life and death. In Ifa divination, this duality is represented by two basic marks: a single line, I, representing the open or speaking position, and a double line, I, representing the closed or silent position. These marks are combined in groups of 4 to create the basic building blocks of the Odu, with 2 possible positions for each of 4 places. This creates 16 primary patterns, called the Odu Meiji, or Major Odu. Each of these 16 patterns can then combine with every other pattern, including itself, to create the complete system of 256 Odu. Juana Elbein dos Santos explains that this mathematical precision reflects the Yoruba understanding that divine intelligence operates through recognizable patterns and laws. The seemingly random events of life actually follow spiritual mathematics that can be understood and predicted through proper application of Ifa wisdom. Your personal Odu is determined through various divination methods, each involving specific mathematical relationships. The most traditional method uses 16 sacred palm nuts, Ikin, or the divination chain, Opal, both of which generate the mathematical patterns that reveal your spiritual blueprint. The beauty of this system lies in its infinite complexity arising from simple principles. Like DNA, which uses only 4 basic elements to create all biological diversity, Ifa uses its binary foundation to map every possible human experience and spiritual lesson. Understanding this mathematical foundation helps you recognize that discovering your Odu is not about random chance or mystical guesswork, but about accessing a precise spiritual science that has guided the Yoruba people. This sacred mathematics becomes the key that unlocks the door to your personal spiritual blueprint and divine guidance. Chapter 3. Traditional Methods of Odu Revelation. The authentic discovery of your governing Odu traditionally requires consultation with a trained Babalao, male priest, or Iyanifa, female priest, who has undergone years of rigorous training in the Ifa system. However, understanding these traditional methods provides valuable insight into the spiritual principles that govern Odu revelation. Pierre Verger's documentation reveals several primary methods used for Odu divination. The most sacred involves the use of 16 palm nuts, Ikin, consecrated to Orunmila, the Orisha of wisdom and divination. The diviner manipulates these nuts in a specific ritual process, creating marks in sacred powder, Ierosun, spread on a wooden divination tray. Opon Ifa. The opal, or divination chain, represents a more accessible method, while maintaining spiritual authenticity. This chain consists of 8 half-shells or medallions that can fall in either open or closed positions, creating the mathematical patterns that reveal the appropriate Odu. The speed and convenience of the opal makes it suitable for daily guidance while preserving the sacred mathematics of the system. Reginaldo Prandi emphasizes that these traditional methods require not just technical knowledge, but spiritual preparation and connection. The diviner must undergo purification rituals, invoke the appropriate spiritual forces, and maintain the proper mental and spiritual state to receive accurate guidance. The consultation process typically begins with the client stating their question or concern, followed by appropriate offerings to Orunmila, the ancestors. The diviner then performs the divination, interprets the resulting Odu, and provides guidance based on the traditional stories and wisdom associated with that pattern. Juana Elbein dos Santos notes that authentic Ifa consultation involves more than just revealing the Odu. It includes understanding the spiritual forces, orishas, involved, identifying any necessary rituals or offering, ibio, and providing practical guidance for aligning with the revealed destiny. For those seeking to discover their governing Odu, finding a properly trained and initiated diviner is essential. This requires research, references, and careful evaluation of the diviner's knowledge, integrity, and connection to authentic tradition. While self-divination methods exist, the complexity and spiritual sensitivity of Odu revelation traditionally requires the expertise and spiritual authority of a properly trained priest or priestess. Chapter 4. Signs and Synchronicities that reveal your Odu. While formal divination provides the most direct path to discovering your Odu, the spiritual forces governing your destiny also communicate through signs, synchronicities, and patterns in daily life. Learning to recognize these subtle communications can provide valuable insights into your governing Odu and its guidance. According to the research of Juana Elbein dos Santos and other Ifa scholars, each Odu has specific symbols, animals, colors, numbers, and natural phenomena associated with it. When these elements appear repeatedly in your life, especially during significant moments or transitions, they may indicate the influence of particular Odu patterns. For example, if you frequently encounter the number 3, see hawks or eagles, or find yourself drawn to the colors red and white, these might be signs of Odu Ogunda's influence in your life. Similarly, recurring dreams of water, encounters with fish or aquatic symbols, or strong attractions to the color blue might indicate the presence of Odu Ose. Juana Elbein dos Santos emphasizes that recognizing these signs requires developing spiritual sensitivity and maintaining awareness of the symbolic language through which divine forces communicate. This involves paying attention to dreams, noticing patterns in daily events, and observing which natural elements consistently appear in your environment. The timing of these signs is often as important as their content. Synchronicities that occur during major life transitions, decision-making periods, or spiritual seeking often carry special significance. The Yoruba teach that the spiritual forces speak most clearly when we are open to guidance and genuinely seeking direction. Pierre Verger documented how traditional Yoruba people maintain constant awareness of these spiritual communications, interpreting daily events through the lens of Odu wisdom. This creates a living dialogue between the individual and their spiritual guides, providing ongoing guidance and confirmation. Developing this sensitivity requires practice and patience. Begin by keeping a journal of unusual occurrences, repeated symbols, and meaningful coincidences. Over time, patterns will emerge that point toward your governing Odu and its specific guidance for your life path. Remember that these signs supplement rather than replace formal divination, but they provide valuable confirmation and ongoing communication with the spiritual forces that guide your destiny. Chapter 5. The Role of Dreams in Odu Discovery. Dreams serve as one of the most direct channels through which your governing Odu communicates guidance and reveals its presence in your life. The Yoruba tradition, as documented by researchers like Pierre Verger and Juana Elbein dos Santos, recognizes dreams as a primary medium for spiritual communication and Odu revelation. Each Odu has specific dream symbols, scenarios, and spiritual messengers associated. These dream patterns often appear during periods of spiritual seeking, major life transition, or when important guidance is needed. Learning to recognize and interpret these dream communications can provide profound insights into your governing Odu and its wisdom. Odu Obara, for example, is associated with dreams of kings, royal courts, and golden objects, reflecting its connection to leadership and material prosperity. Odu Irete often appears through dreams of lightning, storms, or electrical phenomena, indicating its association with sudden change and spiritual illumination. Odu Os typically manifests through water dreams, oceans, rivers, rain, or aquatic creatures, reflecting its connection to emotional depth and spiritual cleansing. Reginaldo Prandi's research reveals that Ifa practitioners traditionally maintain dream journals and seek interpretation from knowledgeable elders when significant dream patterns emerge. The context, emotions, and specific details of dreams all contribute to accurate interpretation and Odu identification. Certain dream experiences carry special significance in Odu discovery. Dreams of deceased ancestors often indicate ancestral guidance in revealing your spiritual blueprint. Dreams of specific animals, especially those appearing 3 times or more, frequently point to particular Odu influences. Dreams involving traditional Yoruba symbols, even for those unfamiliar with the culture, may indicate spiritual calling or Odu revelation. The quality of dreams also matters. Vivid, emotionally charged dreams that remain clear upon waking often carry more spiritual significance than ordinary dream activity. Dreams that provide specific guidance, warnings, or instructions typically indicate direct Odu communication. To enhance dream reception for Odu discovery, traditional practices include sleeping with a glass of water by the bedside, requesting guidance before sleep, and maintaining a dream journal immediately upon waking. Regular meditation and spiritual purification also increase dream clarity and spiritual receptivity. Understanding dream symbolism within the Odu system requires study and often consultation with knowledgeable practitioners, but developing dream awareness provides invaluable access to your spiritual guidance system. Chapter 6. Personality Patterns and Odu Characteristics. Each of the 256 Odu carries distinct personality characteristics, behavioral patterns, and psychological tendencies that manifest in the individuals they govern. Understanding these personality correlations provides another pathway for discovering your governing Odu and gaining insight into your spiritual blueprint. Pierre Verger's extensive documentation reveals that people governed by specific Odu often share recognizable traits, preferences, and life patterns. These similarities arise not from coincidence, but from the archetypal forces that each Odu represents and the specific spiritual lessons it teaches. Individuals governed by Odu Ejiogbe, the first and most senior Odu, typically display natural leadership qualities, strong moral convictions, and a tendency toward teaching or guiding others. They often face challenges related to pride and the responsibility that comes with spiritual authority. Those influenced by Odu Oyeku tend toward introspection, spiritual seeking, and deep emotional sensitivity. They often possess natural healing abilities, but may struggle with depression or excessive withdrawal from social interaction. Odu Iwari governs individuals with strong analytical minds, scientific inclinations, and natural skepticism. They excel at research and investigation but may struggle with spiritual faith or emotional expression. Juana Elbein dos Santos emphasizes that these personality patterns are not rigid determinism, but rather indicate the spiritual curriculum and archetypal energies that shape an individual's development. Understanding your Odu personality helps you recognize your natural strengths while identifying areas requiring conscious development. Reginaldo Prandi's research shows that Odu characteristics also influence career preferences, relationship patterns, and spiritual gifts. People governed by Odu Osa often excel in communication, writing, or diplomatic roles. Those influenced by Odu Ika may be drawn to healing professions or spiritual counseling. Physical characteristics and health patterns also correlate with specific Odu. Some Odu are associated with particular body types, health vulnerabilities, or physical strengths. These correlations provide additional clues for Odu identification while offering guidance for maintaining optimal health. To use personality patterns for Odu discovery, honestly assess your natural tendencies, recurring life themes, and instinctive responses to challenges. Compare these patterns with documented Odu characteristics. But remember that accurate identification requires confirmation through traditional divination methods. Understanding your Odu personality empowers conscious collaboration with your spiritual blueprint, rather than unconscious reaction to archetypal forces. Chapter 7. Life Themes and Recurring Patterns. The Odu governing your destiny creates recognizable themes and patterns that weave through your entire life experience. These recurring motifs provide valuable clues for identifying your governing Odu, while offering insight into the spiritual lessons and opportunities your soul has chosen to explore. According to Juana Elbein dos research, each Odu represents a specific spiritual curriculum with characteristic challenges, opportunities, and growth experiences. People governed by the same Odu often face similar life themes, though the specific circumstances and timing may vary significantly. Odu Ogunda, for example, creates life patterns involving conflict resolution, warrior energy, and the need to stand up for justice. Individuals governed by this Odu often find themselves in situations requiring courage, leadership in difficult circumstances, and the ability to fight for what is right. Odu Ose governs lives characterized by emotional depth, spiritual sensitivity, and connection to water or healing. These individuals often experience intense emotional relationships, possess natural healing ability, and feel drawn to spiritual or therapeutic professions. Pierre Verger documented how these life themes often manifest in childhood and continue throughout the individual's development. Early experiences, natural talents, and instinctive responses to challenges all reflect the influence of the governing Odu. Juana Elbein dos Santos emphasizes that recognizing these patterns requires honest self-reflection and often the perspective that comes with life experience. Young people may not yet see the full pattern of their Odu's influence, while mature individuals can often identify clear themes running through their entire life story. Common life themes include recurring relationship patterns, consistent career directions, repeated health challenges, spiritual gifts that manifest early, specific types of conflicts or obstacles, and particular forms of success or recognition. The timing of major life events also reflects Odu influence. Some Odu create early success followed by later challenges, while others involve gradual development leading to mature achievement. Understanding these timing patterns helps individuals align with their natural rhythm, rather than forcing inappropriate timing. To identify your life themes, review major events, relationships, and turning points in your personal history. Look for patterns in the types of challenges you face, the kinds of opportunities that appear, and the consistent elements that appear across different life phases. These patterns provide a personal map of your Odu's influence and guidance for navigating future developments in harmony with your spiritual blueprint. Chapter 8. The Influence of Birth Circumstances. Traditional Yoruba wisdom recognizes that the circumstances surrounding your birth provide important clues about your governing Odu and spiritual destiny. These birth indicators, documented extensively by researchers like Pierre Verger and Juana Elbein dos Santos, reflect the spiritual forces present at the moment of your soul's incarnation. The day of the week on which you were born carries specific Orisha associations that influence your spiritual blueprint. Children born on Monday, Ojo Aje, are associated with wealth and material success. Tuesday births, Ojo Isagun, indicate warrior energy and the ability to overcome obstacles. Wednesday, Ojo Riru, suggests communication gifts and intellectual abilities. The time of day also holds significance. Dawn births often indicate Odu associated with new beginnings and leadership. Noon births suggest strong solar energy and public recognition. Evening births may indicate connection to ancestral wisdom and spiritual depth. Midnight births often correlate with Odu involving mystery, healing, or spiritual gifts. Weather conditions during birth provide additional indicators. Children born during thunderstorms often show connection to Odu associated with Shango, the Orisha of thunder and justice. Births during heavy rain may indicate Odu linked to emotional depth and spiritual cleansing. Clear, bright days suggest Odu associated with clarity, success, and positive energy. Unusual circumstances surrounding birth carry special significance. Breech births, births with the caul, amniotic sac, or births occurring in unusual locations often indicate specific Odu influences and spiritual gifts. These circumstances are traditionally seen as signs of special destiny and spiritual calling. Reginaldo Prandi's research reveals that birth order also influences Odu expression. Firstborn children often display leadership characteristics, regardless of their specific Odu, while middle children may show mediating or balancing quality. Lastborn children frequently exhibit creative or innovative tendencies. Physical characteristics present at birth provide additional clues. Birthmarks, unusual hair patterns, or distinctive physical features may correlate with specific Odu influences. Traditional practitioners often examine these signs when determining a child's spiritual blueprint. Family circumstances during pregnancy and birth also matter. Significant events, challenges, or blessings experienced by the family during this period may reflect the incoming soul's Odu and its intended impact on the family system. To use birth circumstances for Odu discovery, gather as much information as possible about the conditions surrounding your arrival. Consult family members, examine birth records, and consider the broader context of your family's situation during that time. Chapter 9. Relationship patterns and Odu compatibility. The Odu governing your destiny significantly influences your relationship patterns, compatibility with others, and the types of partnerships that support your spiritual growth. Understanding these relationship dynamics provides valuable insight into your governing Odu, while offering guidance for creating harmonious connections. Each Odu has natural affinities and challenges with other Odu patterns. Pierre Verger's research documented how traditional Yoruba families often consulted Ifa before marriages to ensure compatibility between the governing Odu of prospective partners. This practice recognized that spiritual harmony forms the foundation for lasting relationships. Odu Obara, associated with royalty and material success, tends to attract partners who appreciate luxury and social status, but may struggle with partners who prioritize spiritual development over material achievement. Understanding this pattern helps Obara individuals choose partners who support their natural tendencies while providing necessary balance. Odu Oyeku, connected to spiritual depth and introspection, often attracts partners seeking healing or spiritual guidance, but may have difficulty with partners who prefer surface-level interaction or constant social activity. Recognizing this pattern helps Oyeku individuals find partners who appreciate their depth while encouraging healthy social engagement. Juana Elbein dos Santos emphasizes that Odu compatibility involves more than romantic relationships. Friendships, business partnerships, and family dynamics all reflect these spiritual patterns. Understanding your Odu helps you recognize why certain relationships flow easily, while others require more conscious effort. Relationship challenges often reflect the spiritual lessons your Odu is designed to. Odu Ika, associated with healing and transformation, may attract relationships that require forgiveness and emotional healing. Rather than avoiding these challenges, understanding their spiritual purpose helps you navigate them with wisdom and growth. The timing of relationships also follows Odu patterns. Some Odu indicate early marriage and family formation, while others suggest later life partnerships after individual spiritual development. Understanding your natural timing prevents forcing relationships that aren't aligned with your spiritual blueprint. Reginaldo Prandi's research reveals that successful relationships often involve partners whose Odu complement rather than duplicate each other. This creates dynamic balance where each person's strengths support the other's growth areas. To understand your relationship patterns, examine the types of people you consistently attract, the recurring themes in your partnerships, and the lessons your relationships teach. These patterns reveal your Odu's influence and guidance for creating more conscious, supportive connections. Chapter 10. Career Paths and Professional Calling. Your governing Odu significantly influences your natural talents, professional inclinations, and the career paths that align with your spiritual. Understanding these correlations helps you recognize your authentic calling, while making career decisions that support both material success and spiritual fulfillment. Traditional Yoruba society recognized that each person's Odu indicated their natural role within the community. Pierre Verger documented how this understanding guided education, apprenticeships, and professional development, ensuring that individuals could contribute their unique gifts while fulfilling their spiritual destiny. Odu Ejiogbe, the senior Odu associated with leadership and wisdom, often indicates careers in teaching, counseling, religious leadership, or positions requiring moral authority. Individuals governed by this Odu typically excel when they can guide others and share wisdom, but may struggle in subordinate roles or purely technical positions. Odu Iwari, connected to investigation and analysis, frequently indicates success in research, science, detective work, or any field requiring systematic investigation. These individuals possess natural skepticism and analytical abilities, but may need to develop interpersonal skills for career advancement. Odu Ose, associated with emotional depth and healing, often points toward careers in healthcare, therapy, social work, or spiritual counseling. These individuals possess natural empathy and healing ability, but may need to establish boundaries to avoid emotional burnout. Juana Elbein dos Santos emphasizes that Odu career guidance goes beyond simple job categories to reveal the underlying purpose and energy that should characterize your work. Understanding your Odu helps you find fulfillment regardless of your specific profession, by aligning with your natural energy and spiritual purpose. Some Odu indicate entrepreneurial tendencies, while others suggest success within established organizations. Some point toward public recognition and leadership, while others indicate behind-the-scenes influence and support role. Understanding these patterns helps you choose career paths that utilize your natural strengths. Reginaldo Prandi's research shows that career satisfaction often depends more on alignment with Odu energy than on external measures of success. Individuals working in harmony with their Odu typically experience greater fulfillment, easier advancement, and more sustainable success. Career timing also follows Odu patterns. Some Odu indicate early career success, while others suggest gradual development leading to mature achievement. Understanding your natural timing prevents frustration and supports strategic career planning. To identify your Odu career pattern, examine your natural talents, the types of work that energize you, and the professional environments where you feel most authentic and effective. Chapter 11. Health Patterns and Physical Manifestations. Each Odu governs specific health patterns, physical vulnerabilities, and healing approaches that reflect the spiritual energies and life lessons associated with that particular destiny pattern. Understanding these correlations provides valuable insight for Odu identification, while offering guidance for maintaining optimal health and vitality. Pierre Verger's extensive documentation reveals that traditional Yoruba healers considered a person's governing Odu essential information for accurate diagnosis and effective treatment. This approach recognized that physical health reflects spiritual balance, and that lasting healing requires addressing both material and spiritual causes of illness. Odu Ogunda, associated with warrior energy and conflict, often correlates with injuries from accidents or physical confrontations, blood pressure issues, and conditions affecting the circulatory system. Individuals governed by this Odu typically possess strong physical constitution, but may struggle with anger-related health problems or stress from constant conflict. Odu Oyeku, connected to introspection and spiritual depth, frequently indicates sensitivity to environmental factors, depression or mood disorder, and digestive issues related to emotional stress. These individuals often possess natural healing but may need extra attention to mental health and emotional balance. Odu Ose, associated with water and emotional flow, typically correlates with kidney or bladder issues, reproductive system concerns, and conditions involving fluid balance in the body. These individuals often benefit from water-based healing therapy and emotional release work. Juana Elbein dos Santos emphasizes that Odu health patterns are not deterministic predictions, but rather indicate areas requiring conscious attention and preventive care. Understanding your Odu vulnerabilities empowers proactive health management rather than passive acceptance of illness. Each Odu also indicates specific healing approaches and therapeutic modalities that prove most effective. Some Odu respond well to herbal medicine and natural remedies, while others benefit from energy work or spiritual healing. Some require active, physical approaches to healing, while others need gentle, nurturing. Reginaldo Prandi's research shows that lifestyle choices aligned with Odu energy support better health outcomes. Understanding your natural rhythms, optimal diet, and beneficial activities helps you maintain vitality and prevent illness. The timing of health challenges also follows Odu patterns. Some Odu indicate childhood health issues that resolve with maturity, while others suggest health concerns that emerge later in life. Understanding these patterns helps you prepare appropriately and seek timely intervention. To identify your Odu health patterns, examine your medical history, recurring health themes, and the types of healing approaches that prove most effective for your constitution. Chapter 12. Spiritual Gifts and Psychic Ability. Your governing Odu determines not only your life challenges and opportunities, but also your natural spiritual gifts and psychic ability. These divine talents represent tools for fulfilling your spiritual purpose and serving your community, while also providing clues for identifying your governing Odu pattern. According to the research of Juana Elbein and other Ifa scholars, each Odu carries specific spiritual gifts that manifest as natural abilities, intuitive insights, or healing powers. These gifts often appear early in life, but may require conscious development and proper training to reach their full potential. Odu Odi, associated with birth and fertility, often grants the ability to assist in childbirth, support fertility, or guide souls through major life transitions. Individuals governed by this Odu may possess natural midwifery skills, counseling abilities for life transitions, or the gift of helping others through transformational processes. Odu Irosun, connected to spiritual communication, frequently indicates mediumship ability, prophetic dreams, or the capacity to receive messages from spiritual realms. These individuals often serve as bridges between the physical and spiritual worlds, though they may need training to manage these abilities safely. Odu Owanrin, associated with unexpected change and spiritual awakening, typically grants the ability to see through illusions, recognize hidden truths, or catalyze spiritual awakening in others. These individuals often possess natural counseling abilities and the gift of helping others break free from limiting patterns. Pierre Verger documented how traditional Yoruba society recognized and cultivated these spiritual gifts through appropriate training and initiation. Individuals showing signs of specific abilities were guided to elders who could teach proper development and ethical use of their gifts. Juana Elbein dos Santos emphasizes that spiritual gifts carry both privilege and responsibility. Those blessed with psychic abilities or healing powers have obligations to use these gifts for community benefit, rather than personal advantage. Understanding your Odu helps you recognize these responsibilities and develop your gifts appropriately. Some spiritual gifts manifest as enhanced intuition, while others appear as healing ability, prophetic insights, or the capacity to communicate with spiritual beings. Some individuals possess the gift of spiritual protection, while others excel at spiritual cleansing or energy balancing. Reginaldo Prandi's research reveals that spiritual gifts often emerge during times of crisis or spiritual seeking. Major life challenges may activate dormant ability, while spiritual practices and training can enhance natural gifts. To identify your spiritual gifts, examine experiences of unusual intuition, healing ability, prophetic dreams, or spiritual sensitivity. Notice when others seek your guidance, or when you naturally provide comfort and insight during difficult times. Chapter 13. Living in harmony with your Odu. Once you have discovered your governing Odu through traditional divination, signs, patterns, and personal reflection, the real work begins, learning to live in conscious harmony with your spiritual blueprint. This final chapter provides practical guidance for integrating Odu wisdom into daily life, while fulfilling your highest potential. Living in harmony with your Odu requires understanding both its gifts and its challenges. Every Odu contains positive potentials and shadow aspects that must be balanced through conscious awareness and spiritual practice. Juana Elbein dos Santos emphasizes that Odu work is not about passive acceptance, but active collaboration with divine intelligence. Daily practices for Odu alignment include morning acknowledgement of your spiritual blueprint, regular offering or prayers to the orishas associated with, and evening reflection on how well you honored your spiritual purpose throughout the day. These simple practices maintain conscious connection with your guiding forces. Understanding your Odu's timing patterns helps you make decisions aligned with natural rhythms, rather than forcing inappropriate timing. Some Odu indicate periods of action followed by rest, while others suggest steady, consistent progress. Aligning with these rhythms reduces struggle and increases effectiveness. Pierre Verger's research reveals that Odu harmony involves balancing personal development with community service. Your spiritual gifts and life lessons are meant to benefit not only yourself, but your entire community. Finding ways to share your Odu's wisdom and abilities creates fulfillment and spiritual advancement. Relationship choices become clearer when you understand your Odu's compatibility patterns and relationship lessons. Rather than attracting unconscious patterns, you can choose connections that support mutual growth and spiritual development. Career decisions align more easily when you understand your Odu's professional inclinations and timing patterns. This doesn't limit your choices, but helps you approach any profession with the energy and purpose that creates success and satisfaction. Reginaldo Prandi emphasizes that Odu wisdom evolves throughout life. Your understanding deepens with experience, and new aspects of your spiritual blueprint reveal themselves during different life phases. Remaining open to ongoing revelation keeps you aligned with your evolving purpose. Health maintenance becomes more effective when you understand your Odu's physical patterns and optimal healing. This knowledge supports preventive care and guides treatment choices when health challenges arise. Spiritual development accelerates when you work consciously with your Odu's gifts and lessons. Rather than random spiritual seeking, you can focus on practices and studies that support your specific spiritual curriculum. The ultimate goal is not perfection, but conscious participation in your spiritual destiny, using your unique gifts to serve the highest good while learning the lessons your soul chose for this lifetime. Thank you for joining us on this comprehensive journey through the sacred wisdom of Odu discovery. These ancient teachings offer profound guidance for understanding your spiritual blueprint and living in harmony with divine intelligence. Which aspects of Odu wisdom resonate most strongly with your personal experience? Share your insights in the comments below, and let us know what country you're watching from. If you found value in this exploration of Yoruba spiritual science, please subscribe to our channel and ring the notification bell for more authentic African wisdom teachings. Remember, your Odu is not your limitation, but your liberation, the key to understanding your unique gifts, lessons, and purpose in this lifetime. May you walk in harmony with your spiritual destiny and use your gifts to serve the highest good.